Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are back. We are on a lightly geared cleric. We're in the Goblin Caves. We are here to make money. If you haven't heard, this Friday we are expected to get a hotfix. It is going to change the chest experiment that Iron Mace has been running here for the better part of a week. We don't really know anything more than that, but we should expect to see some kind of change made. The dial that is bringing in the amount of gold that we're getting into the economy right now, because if you've done any trading, you will realize that the economy is a little, well, volatile. But regardless, if you enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It helps me a ton. We do Dark and Darker videos almost every day. Regardless, I'm doing some Rat Cleric right now. The reason why I bring up the economy is that I have a sneaking suspicion that the changes will be close to wholesale reverted, at least with regard to the amount of gold baubles and sellables that are dropping in dungeons. And as a result of that, I think that once again, soloing in Goblin Caves is going to be the best gold per hour, simply because of the extraction time, the ease of extraction, the reliability, all those are going to be really high. It's going to be a fine balancing act, I think, for these guys to kind of balance, is High Roller worth it versus, gold per hour. Right now, ratting and High Roller will make you a ton of money, but it's not a guaranteed extraction. I think Goblin Caves is definitely the safer of those two options, and I think they're going to probably bring those kind of reward values into parity somewhat, but we'll see. So, hey, we're on the Cleric here. We're running the best perk in the game, that's Perseverance. So I'm going right for this guy. The Centipede boss has a great big table, and killing him is fairly straightforward. You'll notice that I'm kind of on the lookout. I don't want to get jumped while I'm doing this. I will fight for my kill. There's a ranger at the end of the hallway. Shoots a little cheeky arrow at me. I'm going to buff up, but that was really just kind of more of a warning shot. He's not pushing me, which is smart. I don't really want to push him. It's a long hallway to have to close. I'm going to take, a worst case scenario, 3 or 4 different arrow shots on the way down there, so no bueno. So I'm going to move slightly away from him while continuing to get some loot. But while we kill this zombie, let's talk a little bit about why I selected this clip for today's video. There's a really interesting fight here, and I've been having several conversations with the community as a whole about positioning, but most importantly about collision detection. Just to go into that really quickly, like, this game has collision detection. That is to say that players cannot walk through other players. Instead, when a player interacts with another player, they stop all momentum and motion. They're basically treated as a wall to other players, right? And this is kind of a crucial concept. Now, that door was open when I walked up. I hear somebody walking on the other side. I've got an earthquake primed, and I drop it on the doorway. Still don't know what I'm up against. They were not plate boots. More on collision detection in just a moment. I don't know if I injured that person or not. Probably not. Based on the speed that they're moving, it's either a bard or a rogue or a ranger. Could be the ranger from down under just a minute ago. Nope, it's a rogue. And he's decided to push me. I get a shield up. I block his movement across the trap with my body. I force him to step on the floor spikes. He took a large amount of damage from that. Had he been smart, he would have worked around the safe side on my right, the way I'm facing now. But instead, he tried to rely on double jump to make it across, but I simply blocked his path forward. In reviewing this, he was significantly geared. He was much better geared than I was. Blue weapons, blue jewelry, purpose-rolled pieces, and other slots. And he had a shot at winning that fight had he taken it under normal circumstances, but he decided to lean on double jump a little bit to close ground and just, casually jump over the trap. I used my body to block him, collision detection, and that was the margin of victory for me. So this comes up quite a bit. I'm encouraging everyone to try to think about how to use guile, trickery, and collision detection in a lot of their fights. You know, Dark and Darker is a positioning-oriented game. If you're melee, you have to position yourself in such a way that you are able to hit your adversary without being hit yourself. If you're ranged, then positioning is super critical because you, generally speaking, as a ranged character, never want to be in close proximity to a melee character or bad things will happen. So think about that when you're using jumps, when you're using terrain, when you're using board hazards like floor spikes or other traps to kind of limit the mobility options and present, advantages for yourself. That's a clear one right there. Aside from that one encounter, this is a pretty stock normal run for Rat Cleric. I'm going to do a little bit more looting here. I think I exit the map with just over 110 gold worth of sellables. The blue rapier that the rogue brought me, it ends up selling for 100 gold. So that's a 200 gold clear. And he has some rings and jewelry, which I think I go on to sell for another couple hundred. So generally speaking, Goblin Caves is going to remain very consistent money, particularly when you're able to, kill another player and take their kit out and liquidate it. Yeah. So what I'm anticipating from the patch on Friday is that we're going to see a very stark drop in the amount of gold per hour that we're able to earn in the game. Right now, it's very high. I mean, Goblin Caves prior to this change was 150 to 200 gold per run, average 5 to 6 runs per hour kind of endeavor. I'm expecting that to kind of return. But right now, if you're running, even solo rat, high roller stuff, you're able to clear several hundred gold per successful run, 300-400 on the low end, 1,000 on the high end, in sellables and loot. And I'm expecting that number to come way down. So I think we're going to see a decrease in the quantity and the quality of what's being dropped from these chests. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.